My name is Robert Marr from the law office of Robert J. Marr, PC. I want to talk to you for a few minutes today about 2 or 3 things to consider when applying for a visitor visa to the United States. Many people want to come to visit the United States and they apply for visas at the consulates in the closest city where there's a consulate. There are some things to keep in mind when you apply for or are granted a tourist visa, because you want to make sure that you stay in compliance with laws regarding visitor visas, so that if you decide you want to visit again, you don't have difficulties when entering the country. What is a visa? It's permission to present yourself at the border of the United States. What that basically means is you're allowed to leave your country and come to, let's say, Kennedy Airport in New York City. When you get to Kennedy Airport, you will be met by a border agent. It's their authority or their right to either admit you or deny your admission. We probably all know of people who had a visa, got to the United States, and were either sent away or sent to another country because of one reason or another. Sometimes people are shocked that this occurs, but they have to realize is that what the visa does is it allows you to come to the border and present yourself for inspection so that you can be admitted to the United States. Visas are granted for a number of years. Usually the tourist visa is 10 years. If you have a 10-year tourist visa, it doesn't mean you can come and stay for 10 years. What it means is your permission to come to the border is good for 10 years. And when you get to the border, then the border agent will tell you how long you can stay. It seems like most of the time, 6 months seems to be a big number. People are granted 6 months to stay in the United States if they want to, and then they're expected to leave at that point. That information is generally contained in or can be found in what's called an I-94. Basically, an I-94 is a record of your admission to the country, and the agent will generally tell you how long you can stay. Sometimes when people are here, they decide they need to stay for a particular reason. In other words, they want to ask for their stay to be extended. You generally need to show a good reason for your time in the United States to be extended. In many cases, it's granted. In many cases, obviously, it's not. One of the challenges with that extension process is that when you file an extension to stay, it takes a really long time to get an answer. So a lot of times what will happen is you've made an application to extend your stay. The application to extend your stay may come after the period that you've requested. In other words, if you're here and you request an additional 6 months, it might take the government 8 months to get your reply back to you. The reply may say yes, but the time you're permitted to stay on that extension may have passed already. So now you're out of status. And so what does that mean? Generally, it means if you're, if you're out of status from 0 to 6 months, it's probably going to affect your ability to get another tourist visa. If you stayed 6 months to a year, you have a 3-year ban, essentially. If you've overstayed more than a year, you essentially have a 10-year ban. So when making a request for an extension, you have to consider that you may get the answer to your request long after that you needed to have it. If it's denied, the denial goes back to the day of the expiration of your last authorized stay. You may start out with 5 months of where you're out of status right off the bat, and that's sometimes how people run into difficulties, and then they have to make a decision either to go back and deal with the consequences, or sometimes people stay. And there's all kinds of challenges that go into this. When applying for a visa, keep those things in mind, and it'll go a long way to making your stay more relaxing and enjoyable. If you want to extend your visa, or you have questions about the visitor visa process, you can call us 212-939-7548, or reach out to us by email at info@robertmarlaw.com.